To the people watching right now, what are two things from what you all have experienced? What are two things that they should do to get out of debt?
Number one, I think, is give. Like, I feel like I've been reading, like, every day I've been reading Colossians 3, and it's just having a renewal of the mind and just, thinking everything, tying it back to Jesus Christ. And for me, it's just whatever you believe in, tie it back to that. I just feel like you have to have a driver, and of course, my favorite saying is, sacrifice and debt both cost. You choose which one you want to pay for, and we chose to pay, for sacrifice instead of debt. So, yeah.
I love it. And you got to give one too, Jennifer. What's one thing?
Absolutely. I would say you have to save. Like, it doesn't make sense to be grinding Monday through Friday, putting in 40 hours a week, and then, you don't even have anything for you. You're paying the gas bill, you're paying the light bill, you're giving everybody their checks, you're paying Sally Mae, but then you looking at your account and it's still in the same position that it was 2 weeks prior. And then you come, 52 weeks later and it's the same amount. So I would say you need to pay yourself first. With us being believers, we pay God first and then we pay ourselves. And paying yourselves is essentially saving. And then, with that savings, you can use it like, hey, within 3 months, I want this amount. I want to knock out this. And, I'm sure Dave goes into it. You go into it about, the snowball effect. Yeah. But it does feel good, I know for myself, to look into my savings account and just see it accumulating and growing and using that, funds either to help somebody in the time of need or, if something were to happen, I'm able to finance it right away without having to worry and crunching corners or wondering how my credit looks because I can't afford something.
Yeah. Man, this is good. We teach give, save, spend here. Give first. And save, and then spend, and so I totally agree with what you're saying as far as, and just grind and just make sure that you're safe and get out of debt. I agree with you. Here's my philosophy. If I can't buy it twice, I won't buy it at all. That's my philosophy. And if I can't pay for it cash, I don't need it right now. Bottom line, And I'm like you all. I have a mortgage payment as well, and my goal is to have it paid off by the end of next year. My goal was to have it paid off this year, but because of the coronavirus, I lost out on a lot of money, a lot of opportunities these last 3 months, and I don't know what the fall is going to look like. So I'm still aggressively paying extra on my mortgage, but I have it paid off next year, and if God turns things back around, I'm gonna pay that off. And this is what I'm gonna do with my mortgage payment. I'm not even going to pocket the mortgage payment. I'm actually going to turn that into more tithe. So I'm going to take my 10%, put my mortgage payment on top of my 10%, and I'm giving that to the Lord because I want him to know you can trust me with more. And so I think it's best to give than it is to receive. So God, like, hey, one day I want to see 7 figures net is what I'm making a year. Not gross. I want to be net. I don't want my net worth to just be 7 figures. No. I want to be making 7 figures net a year, and so that means I need to be making high plus 7 figures gross to net it. And so I believe the only person who can really make that happen for me is God. So I'm going to give him more. And then I'm going to be grinding like myself because, if I'm going to propose to a Nigerian doctor, I'm going to need about 40, 50 grand. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Minimum. Up front.
Yeah. And even to piggyback what you said, I remember back whenever I wasn't necessarily making the amount I'm making now, I used to have this thought, my pastor at the time was preaching, it's like the amount that you believe God for, that you want to make, are tithing that amount. So if you want to be seeing 6 figures, tithe like you're making 6 figures. And I honestly embodied that, and lo and behold, in such a short amount of time, that's what is going on. Wow. So literally, if you want to make $120K a year, start tithing like you're making that and see how God will start to pour into your life or, give opportunities. It's not always about someone writing you a check. It might be a promotion at the job or more hours at work or, business intuitions and, ideas. So that's something, I believe in. So if we want to see ourselves become millionaires, God, with God's grace and, ability, we'll start tithing like that so that when we become it, it's nothing. We're just easing into that role because we've already been doing it with the finances that we currently have.
Wow.